This video is brought to you by Xavi's new Star Trek merch line. Now entering what is essentially the third act of Star Trek Picard, some big revelations and character developments contribute to what looks like it's going to be a terrific finale. Episode 7, Nepenthe, saw a welcome reappearance from Riker and Troi, and I just love everything about their scenes. Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis, just like Patrick Stewart, haven't lost a thing when it comes to playing these characters. Frakes has always been an effortlessly charismatic and likeable actor, even if he has admitted he prefers directing these days, although he's very good at that as well. The close real-life friendship between Frakes and Stewart is very evident in the dynamic between Riker and Picard. Every moment of them hugging and reminiscing about old times was truly heartwarming. After all, we as viewers know what these people have been through together. Marina Sirtis gives one of her best performances as Troi as well, thanks to strong writing. Unfortunately on The Next Generation, Troi was pretty much useless a lot of the time. This character, who was supposed to be wise and insightful, was left floundering for many seasons. However, here, Troi is actually able to use her skills as a counselor to understand Soji's feelings and help Picard on his mission to help her, as opposed to simply looking concerned and going, "Ooh, I sense pain." Isa Briones and newcomer Lulu Wilson also performed well in the episode's B-plot. While Picard tries to engender trust between himself and Soji, we get to see a young and capable Kestra helping Soji come to terms with her present situation. Overall, this pit stop at the super wholesome Riker family home was a nice change of pace from the grim dark back alleys of the galaxy. Meanwhile on the Borg cube, Rizzo killing off the XBs was brutal as all hell, but unfortunately a big emotional gut punch was spoiled for me personally on Twitter, namely the death of Hugh. I've already paid Jonathan Del Arco so many compliments, but I just want to reiterate what a great performance this was, and what great direction the character was taken in. Just a shame such a tragic end had less impact for me personally because of some random screenshot on Twitter. Meanwhile on the Serena, Dr. Jurati is certainly having a bad day. I did find this a little odd, however, to see the trauma of her actions hit her so hard here, considering it wasn't so evident in the previous episode. Almost as if the fallout of her actions were put on hold until it was needed to advance the plot. Perhaps if these events were staggered a little bit, it wouldn't have felt so jarring. I also find the plot thread of Rio suspecting Raffi of being a Romulan spy a little odd, considering what takes place in the following episode. But first, a word from this video's sponsor. This video is brought to you by a new Star Trek merch line now available at Xavi.com. A slew of brand new, very cool designs to satiate your Star Trek itch. I myself really like this Section 31-esque jumper, which I was kindly gifted with. It's got a really nice embroidered design, one of many really cool designs in this range, and is pretty cozy for these winter months. Click the link below and use the promo code BATTLE20 for 20% off the Star Trek range, or the code BATTLE10 for 10% off the site-wide items. Thank you once again to Xavi for sponsoring this video, and now back to Star Trek Picard. Episode 8 was like watching a jigsaw puzzle come together before your eyes. We finally get a full picture of what's going on and why, with each plot thread heading for a collision in the finale. But this was really Santiago Cabrera's showcase episode, and it was most welcome. I've really enjoyed Chris Rios as a character, and Cabrera's assortment of holographic crew members are a delight. Ian, being the Scottish engineer, made me laugh out loud, and it was a pretty decent accent as well. Cabrera seemed to be a talented accent performer in general, yet at the same time Rios' revelation about his former Starfleet posting was beautifully acted and presented. I'd love to see a prequel comic about this era of his life and the relationship he had with his captain. I also really enjoyed Soji asking Picard about Data. I really like the way the show uses nostalgia. It doesn't just reference past Trek for the sake of it, but instead uses the legacy of these characters and their lives to inform on the present. The mysterious ancient alien civilization being the progenitor of the Zhat Vash's hatred of synthetics was also a surprise. I'm a sucker for ancient alien stuff in sci-fi universes. However, I get the feeling we still don't have the whole picture when it comes to this ancient alien civilization. Something about the explicit clarification that this is not something any of the Zhat Vash actually have lived, but rather discovered through secondhand knowledge, stood out to me. Perhaps the Zhat Vash have misunderstood what they saw, or the ancient aliens weren't telling the whole truth. Either way, the board is set, and I'm keen to see how this finale comes to an end. Al Bam asks, would you consider doing a video on Star Trek novels? Yes, I would actually. I've thought about doing videos on good sci-fi books in general. My only hiccup is what to do for visual content, but once I figure that out, I definitely have a list of books I want to cover. Specifically, I have 2 Star Trek novel series I want to give shout-outs to. Thank you for watching. If you like my videos, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with all my new uploads. Over on my Patreon you can see videos early. Speaking of such, I'd like to quickly thank all of my patrons who are now appearing on screen. Have a good one, guys, and as always, live long and prosper.